What's going on, guys? So here is the deck profile that you guys have been requesting from my previous video, but it was only like 5 people, but whatever, I'll do it anyways. 5 people asked, so let's, whatever. So, this deck is not Lightsworn that I'd probably play in a tournament. This deck was pretty much just to see, can you make the Eclipse Wyvern engine work without the Dragon Rollers? And yes, I know if you mill it off, it still works to get JD, but you still need to banish the Eclipse Wyverns to get the JD back to your hand. So, and that's what Dragon Rollers were for, when you could use them. So without Dragon Rollers, what can we do to make a consistent JD, OTKE/Saki deck? So this is not what I would take to a tournament, because if I took to a tournament, I'd have more defenses. This has literally no defense except this one Gorz, and the only reason I'm playing it, the one Gorz, is just because there's one slot left of room, so I put a Gorz. So, anyways, let's get on with it. Right, 2 Curry Bandit. Curry Bandit, especially in this deck, since there's no defenses, is not that great, but it's nice to get one of the spells from your hand if you can. So that's, that's nifty. 2 Minerva of the Lightsworn. I like this because you can discard it with Monster Reincarnation or Solar Recharge or Lumina, or you just mill it off in general. It's an extra mill with it. So if it gets milled, you can mill another card. So it's useful. 3 Lumina, 3 Raiden, 3 Lila, an Aaron, a Jane, my cat is in the way, Celestia, and 1 Fellis, and then 3 JD. For the other engine, though, is 3 Eclipse, 3 Black Dragon Collapsor Serpent, and then 2 Chaos Sorcerer and the BLS, Dark Flare Dragon, and the Light Pulsar. So the 3 this is like your engine to get JD. The Eclipse is to get JD banished, and then the rest of these to make, well, Chaos Sorcerer and BLS are just good cards, but then you can use the Banishing with Curry Bandit and Eclipse or any dark monsters you mill off to get your JDs back to your hand. Which you might think, hey, Collapse Serpent, you can mill it off and that's kind of useless, which is true, but we don't have Dragon Rollers anymore, so this is what we got. But this also works well as if you don't have much going on, you can make rank 4s in this deck pretty easily with having Black Dragon Collapse Serpent. And the Dark Flare and the Light Pulsar, there's really no reason. I needed another Dark, really, I'd even probably recommend playing 2 Dark Flare Dragons to have more Dark monsters. We didn't really need much more light, but I also liked having the Light Pulsar in there, so that's what I just played 1 of each. Really, you just need something that can banish the light and a dark, so it doesn't really necessarily matter. But you don't run that many darks in this deck, so every time you banish a light, you have to wait for an Eclipse Wyvern, because unless you're really in a pickle. Anyways, the 1 Gorz just because, 2 Charge of Light Brigade, 3 Solar Recharge, and 3 Monster Incarnations. So the extra deck isn't much, because I don't extra deck that often, and I go into 4s if I do once in a while. And then I go into Michael. That's pretty much what I make, and a Black Rose if I have to. But this is what I have. Number 18, if for some reason the JDs were skill drained, yeah, I can overlay them if I got them in my hand for a defensive, but that's never happened either, that I'd have to go into that, because if skill drained, the XYZ is pointless too, so I don't know. I just kind of had it in there to have it in there for some odd reason. Big Eye and Dragossack if I can make rank 7s, which you never do in this deck. Number 101, Evil Swarm, X-Ton Knight, Cowboy, Jane, and then Storyder, Leo, Belze. I don't even think you can make this in this, but I have it in here anyways. Red Dragon, Archfiend, 2 Michael, Black Rose, Goyo, Guardian. Like I said though, this is not the deck profile of which I would play a competitive Lightsworn, though I feel like there is something in here to be had. Now, if you're wondering why the Monster Reincarnation, well, Monster Reincarnation actually helps a lot. There's been times where I need to discard a Lightsworn so I can have the 4 Lightsworns in my graveyard for a JDE. And then doing so also can get me a JD banished and get me a graveyard. I can get a JD back. I can discard an Eclipse and get its effect off. It is very helpful in this deck. Though, I can see why I take out the Gorz and 3 Monster Reincarnations. I play like Necro Gardener or Bacon Saver or something else. Maybe even take out the Light Pulsar Dragon and try to get some defenses like Light Pulsar and Gorz and maybe take out 1 Monster Reincarnation. But I'm telling you right now, Monster Reincarnation helps. To, just try it out. People who... It ruled in the Dragon Roller one, way, but still... Just being able to get a JD out of your grave is just awesome. Along with the other consists you have, because JD is the point of this deck. It's just the JD sack deck. So, it's probably going to name it Lightsworn Sacking Deck Profile. Because that's pretty much just the point of this. This is not trying to have any defense, any breakthrough skills like you normally would play. This is just mostly trying to get JD out and do other stuff with Michael. And it works out for the most part, as you saw. But it's not a real meta thing. I'm just letting you know this was me trying to mess around what you could do with Dragon Rollers gone. So I'll see you later, guys. Peace!